Schwab, physical therapist.
And I'm Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
And together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
Absolutely, in our opinion. All right, what are we going to talk about today, Bob?
I don't know, you want to take it away, Brad?
Yeah, we're going to talk about hips because hips are a very common source of pain, particularly in that age group in 40 and over, 50 and over.
Well, that's right, that reminds me.
Yes.
Our videos are basically geared for the 40 to 50-year-old person and older.
Sure.
And we're going to talk about things that are going to help you stay healthy and fit well into your 80s and 90s.
Right,
So,
that's our whole
and
goal.
this right here falls right in it because we're going to talk about hip arthritis.
Right, so I've got a model of the hip. Obviously, some people, I don't think really know where the hip is. They say my hip is here or whatever. The hip is actually right there, and you can feel the outside of that femur bone, or the greater trochanter. But let's take this section and look at it on this model. So this is the front, okay? And we have the pelvis bone here. Now this is cut right down the middle, and I have the right side here. Here's the right femur, and here's the hip ball and socket right there.
I would be facing you right here. That's the angle we're at right now.
He's always trying to get...
I'm trying to get camera time.
The camera time. Okay, let's get back over to me then. Can you zoom in on this pretty close? No, that'll work. Yeah, are we there? Okay. So here we got now. Here these red, the red areas is representing the muscle in the hip. So what we're going to do is take the hip out and take the muscle and the soft tissue out of there, and just look at the joint itself. This is a really nice model. So there we go, and there we got just the hip structure. And here's, we got the right half of the pelvis, and we got the hip, and there's that leg moving around. If you're running, you're going like this. If you kick out to the side, you're going like this, and you got a real nice hip joint there.
It's so a ball and socket.
Right, ball and socket. And if you have arthritis, Bob, where do you get arthritis in your hip?
Well, right on the contact areas, basically. So here's the ball, and there's the socket. And this is the area that begins to wear out.
Right.
And I'm sure this has got hyaline cartilage on it, right? And that hyaline cartilage is just kind of a coating that is around the hip. And that just begins to, the coating begins to wear away, and you end up getting bone on bone.
Right. Now the cartilage is very smooth and pristine. It's white, and it's amazing how smooth it is. Plus you have your synovial fluid, which is a lubricant, which even makes it more slippery, if you will.
Keeps it healthy.
Right. And what will happen over time is, for whatever reason, the cartilage starts to wear, and you don't have cartilage on cartilage with synovial fluid. You get down to the point of bone on bone, and then you start getting pain.
Right.
And I've had cases in the clinic for people with hip pain, not only having pain in the hip, but it radiating down the leg. Okay.
It can be very deceiving. People can't understand why they're getting pain down their leg, and they think it's something else when actually it is coming from the hip.
Right.
It can go quite far down the leg.
Right, yeah. So yeah, there's some good case histories on hip arthritis and the pain that it can cause. So what are we going to talk about, Bob?
Well, we're going to show exercises to help keep the hip as healthy as long as possible. Even when you have arthritis, you want to keep the hip moving. Part of the problem is when you have arthritis, you start having pain. So what's the first thing you do? You stop moving the hip.
Right.
And what happens then, because let's say again, if you're looking at this model, let's say you're not moving through the full range of motion. That area, because instead of you're going like this, you're going to excessively wear out that one spot, and then you're going to really have pain.
Right.
So if we look at this model here, so this is you want to show how that...
Sure. So this here is the hip and the femur with the head of the femur. There we go. And this represents the pelvis here, so we're looking like this.
Again, a ball and a socket. And if you're not moving the hip very much because of pain, you might just be wearing out a small surface here. Okay?
Right.
Because you're just constantly, and because you're not moving it much, the synovial fluid isn't being, I don't know if it's produced or enhanced or used like it should be.
Right.
So if you do full range of motion, now you'll spread the forces out through the whole hip, and it's just going to stay healthy longer. It's just going to feel better. So the exercises we're going to show you are going to show you how to keep motion in the hip, and also how to keep the hip strong. Because the more the muscles around the hip are strong, the less force there is on the joint too.
Right.
If you have a stronger muscle. So We got about 5, 6 exercises we're gonna show you, and we'll start that right now.
Right, and these exercises are gonna be non-weight bearing, so if you already have hip arthritis and hip pain, these exercises should not be painful, but yet achieve the goal of getting the range
Fantastic,
of
yeah,
motion.
exactly, they're a great way to do exercises.
Thank you.
Okay, there's 5 exercises. The first one is we're trying to get hip rotations, internal and external rotation. This is a very simple exercise, actually kind of good for your back too. But you're going to still just lay flat on your back, and you're going to start rotating your hips back and forth like this, your legs back and forth. And by doing this, you're actually turning your hip out and turning your hip in on each side. Okay? After a while, if it starts to feel okay, you can actually go a little further and stretch a little bit. All the way over. Any comments, Brad?
No, I like that too, it does good for your back, just to get a reminder, they should be pain-free, you shouldn't be working through pain, especially sharp pain. If that's the case, then you should be.
Guess we haven't talked about repetitions. How many should we do, Brad? Repetitions.
You should do at least 10 times back and forth,
Yeah.
10 to 15 repetition once per day, is a good maintenance program to keep some motion. You could do it twice a day if you'd like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Sounds good. That's number 1.
Okay, we're gonna go on the exercises number 2 and number 3. Laying down on your back, you're gonna bring both knees up like this. Okay, the first one we're gonna do is knee to chest, single knee to chest, and just bringing the knee up like this. You can grab the knee, do a gentle pull like this, and back down. And we're just getting what we call end range flexion on that hip. And we're gonna work that 10 to 15 repetitions. Okay, make sure you do both legs. Always important to do both sides. Don't forget one or you start walking around in circles. That's my PT joke. Okay, anything on that one, Bob?
No, that's simple. As simple as that.
Good, the next one we call straight leg raisers. Very common exercise. Okay, make sure one knee is up and down like this. Now, this is a leg we're gonna exercise. You're gonna pull that leg up, and you're gonna go up till you feel a slight pull in the back hamstring, so you get a little stretch there and go down. The important thing about this is that you're not flapping it around. You got good controlled motion up and down, so you're going to get a little hip strengthening, range of motion, and some hamstring stretch as well. Again, 10 to 15 repetitions on this. Make sure you go over and do both legs, and that'll work out once to twice per day. Thank you.
Okay, the final 2 exercises, this one they call knee crossovers. You're in a sideline position, and you're going to have to do both sides. I'll just show you the one side. I'm on my left side right now. And what you're going to do is you're going to take, this leg is slightly bent, the lower leg. And this leg, you take it up and you bring the foot till it touches this knee, then you bring the knee down. So you're going to come down like this.
This foot goes to the knee.
This foot goes to the knee, this knee goes down to the bed. Or you're a little bit off the bed if you want to do it.
And if you're having problems with this, you already got some things going on and you can't get the foot to the knee. It doesn't
Right.
have to touch. You go in that general motion.
That's
but
the
do
goal.
drop the knee down.
Drop the knee down and feel a little bit of stretch in the butt is what you're going to feel with this. That's the purpose of this.
Right. That gets the hip and it gets that famous piriformis
Piriformis
muscle.
yeah.
Yep, they talk a lot about that with working with the sciatic nerve, so that'll help that out.
Now, if you want to do that right after you're done doing that one, and before you go to the other side and do that same exercise, you can do your side kicks. Again, you can have the legs slightly bent underneath, and this one you're just going to bring up like this. Bring it up as high as you can. Oh, I can actually feel that, Brad.
Oh yeah,
It's
that's
actually,
a good
well, I got a long leg.
Yeah,
This is-
well,
this
you
is
do
a-
have a long one. So, yeah, so he's doing this, and one thing about this one, or doing these, you can do them on your bed. Probably a little better is to do it, you know, on a carpeted floor, but getting down on the floor can be real troublesome for some people if you got arthritis. So stick to your bed, there's nothing wrong with that.
Again, a slow motion, and I would say repeat 10 to 15 times.
Yep.
You might not even be able to do it 10 to 15 times to start off with. You might have to start with 5.
This one
I
in
can see.
particular is aggressive.
Yeah, it could be a tough one, but this is a great one. This strengthens the muscles on the side of the hip, and it's really important for balance too. So this, I would absolutely recommend. But give these 5 exercises a try and keep those hips healthy.
You bet. Thank you.